Hey guys, just before we get into this episode, I just want to let you know that this was recorded on March 20th, so almost a week ago. Just wanted you guys to be mindful of that. A lot has changed since then. A lot of the information has changed. There's been a lot of developments regarding COVID-19. Anyway, hope you're all healthy. I hope you're well. Jared and I are figuring out how we're going to continue on with the podcast during this time, and we wish you all the best. And if you guys ever need anything, feel free to reach out to Jared or I. Enjoy the episode, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 6 of the Exordia Creative Podcast. I'm your co-host, Quentin Solomon.
I'm Jared Lund.
And today, we just wanted to pop on here. This is probably going to be the case for our podcast for the next little while. It's going to be us two. It could even be solo. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. But for right now, it's going to be Jared and I social distancing from each other on this podcast.
Yeah, we changed our setup temporarily, so we're not spreading germs right towards each other.
Yeah. So this is kind of our new setup for right now. Anyway, we have quite a bit to talk about on this episode. It's going to be largely focused around the current situation of COVID-19 in Chatham-Kent and all around the world, really, and how it's affecting business. So
yeah, it feels like the whole world has changed and flipped upside down since the last time we spoke to you guys. And we're still trying to digest what's going on ourselves. Like, we're taking it on a daily basis and trying to stay informed of what's going on federally, provincially, locally, and doing the best we can to follow the guidelines that are being given with us without totally flipping our lives upside down. We're trying to conduct business as normally as we can, but that's proven to be a bit of a challenge. And yeah, I don't know, there's quite a bit that we could...
Yeah, so some of the things that we're doing on our level is Jared and I are no longer working together in the same room, which is, for me anyway, I'm more of an extrovert. It's been a little weird being alone in the office. Jared's working from home.
Yeah, we started the week together in the office, and it's now Friday, and since then I've gradually, slowly started working more and more at home, and that's kind of been the setup. I just showed up here to film this, and I'll probably be on my way afterward.
Yeah.
It's hard to know in situations like this what's overkill and what preventative measures are necessary and what's over the top, but I think you're better safe than sorry in these situations. So yeah, we're choosing to do it like that. We're avoiding having any guests here for the time being, because a big part of our business is going on site, on location to businesses and shooting and stuff like that. We've seen a huge impact in how we're doing that. Yeah. So
we're treating it on a case by case basis, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like there's product shoots that we're still able to do, and we're still able to create some forms of content like that. But we've had to dramatically reduce the in-store, working with people, filming people kind of stuff that we've been doing, which has proven to be a challenge, but of course everybody's really understanding of it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. And then as far as our meetings go, we actually had several meetings set up for this month around this time. And so what we've done is we've reached out and we've asked if we can do over the phone. And they've actually, shockingly, been a little more productive. And we've kind of realized that you can get a lot done over email and you can get a lot done over the phone. So
that was a pleasant surprise, I think.
Yeah.
How well we've been able to keep things up over phone and email.
And I mean, what we're doing for our clients, really, we're just in touch with them practically every single day since after the weekend, really, when the whole world changed. We've been keeping in touch with them every single day, seeing what we can do on our end. We've changed a lot of how we're marketing for our clients too, because I think that's really important, and we'll get more into how you should be marketing your business during this time. So that's a little bit about what we're doing.
For sure. I mean, unless you live in a cave, you've probably gotten dozens at least emails by now from all the corporations and subscriptions you're subscribed to about how they're handling the COVID situation. And I think that's important. As we're in client services for any business, but especially if you're in client services, just to keep in touch. So this has kind of been like a blessing in disguise, because it's given us a really good excuse to make sure that we're in touch with every single person we're working with and ramping up our customer relationship management.
Yeah.
So in that way, it's been nice. I think it's really important to stay in touch with everybody and to come up with a plan to how you want to proceed with what kind of statements you want to release. So just about everyone we've been working with right now, we've made some kind of a statement for them regarding how their business is dealing with the situation and what kind of changes there are to expect. And I think it goes back to what kind of marketing you should be doing in a time like this. And I think the way Quentin and I are taking it, for the most part, is that we want to acknowledge what's going on. I think we see there's definitely companies getting better at it, but we've seen some companies kind of ignoring the situation, or choosing to postpone addressing what's going on. And fair enough, because to address it, a lot of these companies are shooting themselves in the foot and basically admitting that this is real and admitting that they're going to have to change their business, which does suck for a lot of people. So I don't blame them for being hesitant to get out there and talk about it. But of course, it's on everybody's mind. It's trending like nothing else. So I think the least you can do to your customer base is let them know what's going on, acknowledge them, and just be real about the situation and not be tone deaf about it.
Yeah. It is. It's also changing by the day too. Every single day, something new is happening. Something like just today, we had one of our clients tell us that they have to lay off their staff, which is
that's heartbreaking.
A harsh reality. But just the other day, we were talking about expanding our services and stuff with them. So it's definitely a weird time. We've never experienced anything like this before. We're two fairly young guys, so we're just kind of taking it day by day and doing the best that we can and what we can for our clients.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know about you, but we definitely lived through the 2008 financial crisis.
Yeah.
But we weren't conducting any business.
No, we weren't working.
And honestly, I was too young and in too much of a privileged position to be too affected by that. I definitely saw what was going on around me.
Yes.
But I didn't fully take in the gravity of the situation. I'm not trying to compare this to that in any way, because we don't know the depth or the length of the situation. But this is definitely a first for us. It's completely uncharted territory. After the economy was so great, we're faced with this. So there's a lot of uncertainty about the economic future and how we're going to do financially, how our clients are going to do financially. Mm-hmm. Luckily, we are pretty diversified. We have a lot of clients. We work with a lot of businesses in different industries, which is a blessing to us because we get to kind of divide the effect over a bunch of different industries as opposed to having all of our eggs in one basket. But it's challenging, to say the least, for us and for a lot of our business partners. Yeah, for sure. I think we should talk a little bit about some of the good that's going on in the community. I like to keep in touch with what's happening. So one of the cool things that's going on is a lot of the restaurants and stuff are offering takeout. Right.
And we shout out Steve almost every single podcast now. But anyway, pizza places, for example, I believe that they're in a unique position and almost kind of one of the lucky ones.
Absolutely.
Will people be buying less pizza? Maybe. I really don't know. But we're seeing companies like Mama Maria's, the Chilled Cork, they're offering takeout now, which is really good. They have awesome food, both establishments, and it's great that they're offering takeout. Some of the other really notable things going on is I believe right now that there is some kind of there's a group coming together, and they're trying to figure out a way to manufacture hand sanitizer in Chatham-Kent, which is super cool. So I think we're going to see some collaborations from different businesses and people coming together. So that'll be really that'll be good. The municipality's been updating daily on what's going on, which is good.
Yeah, no, I think the delivery thing is great. It's a good opportunity for a lot of those businesses. Mm-hmm. So hopefully once the dust settles here, maybe that is something that's lucrative that they can continue to do. Yeah. So that's one silver lining. Yeah. I'd say another silver lining is that people are coming together. I was just surprised at the amount of empathy people have shown online and in person regarding spreading the message, putting the community before themselves in terms of practicing social distancing, making sure that people with compromised immune systems or elderly people are getting the care that they need to whatever extent that the general public can offer them.
Yeah, there's a Facebook page, isn't there? A Facebook group?
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of the stores choose to have their seniors only hours or a special time for immunocompromised people to come in, which is really interesting. I've seen a lot of people on Facebook in person offer to do grocery runs, a lot of neighbors helping neighbors, which is fantastic, and it's good to see everybody band together.
It is, and in times like this is when people really truly do come together. So I'm going to say it's a blessing and a curse to see all the community. It's all happening. We're forgetting about the political lines. We're forgetting about all these different things, and we're all banding together as a human race. It's cool.
100%. I mean, you definitely hear a lot of talk about people, violating their recommendations to quarantine or to self-isolate, and it's easy to get caught up in that stuff. It's not perfect, but the amount of people that are doing what they can and doing more is really awesome.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. For sure. Okay. So I think we should talk about, I would like to talk about anyway, the economy, what this is doing for the economy overall in Canada, and some of the things that the government is offering. I don't know, have you been keeping up with some of the stimulus package stuff that they've been talking about?
Yeah, so I'm more familiar with the situation in the States than the Canadian situation. I think Trudeau announced something about like an $80-something billion care package to be distributed in a number of different ways. I'm not sure how that money is going to be allocated, or what that even means. Like, we're not economists, so take what we say with a grain of salt.
Absolutely.
But it's a nice gesture, if nothing else. I know in the U.S., President Trump discussed giving a $1,000 subsidy to every citizen and $500 to every child under, I think, the age of 18, which is nice. I think what we need to focus on is what's going to happen long term, and maybe start accepting the reality that this probably isn't going to be a couple week thing. I'm not saying this is a major recession, and we just don't know, right? Like, this is such a unique situation. It's so different. We've seen interest rates drop really low, which is nice for the time being, but I don't think that that's sustainable. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen, because there's like government bodies and policymakers that are keeping these interest rates low, which is great, but they're not the ones who control the supply of money.
Yeah.
So for now, these government bodies, they have to borrow money and take loans and stuff, which is going to spike the interest rates, right? And the central bank doesn't like spiked interest rates. So these places like the Federal Reserve and other central banks are going to have to decide: do we let interest rates spike and cripple the economy even worse, or do we start printing more money, which deflates the currency? So it's a super complex situation. I think we're going to see the interest rates get even higher before they dip down low again. But I don't know, because it's so hard to predict the longevity of the situation. Could it be a 6-month deal? Maybe. And I know that sounds pessimistic, but we really have no idea.
We have no clue. All we can do on our own individual, like, just do the best you can.
Yeah, and just to be blunt with you guys, like, we question our financial relationships with some of our own clients and how long that's going to go on for.
Yeah.
Right. We're starting to have those conversations with some of our business partners who we rely on for income, but this is uncharted territory, right? Like Quentin said, we just had a conversation with one of our partners today that they have to start doing layoffs, which is super heartbreaking, and it makes us worry for ourselves as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Luckily we're in a position with not too much overhead, and our income is super diversified, which is nice. But to have to weather a 6, 12, God forbid, even more than a year storm, that's difficult.
For any business, really.
Yeah, and ours is no exception. So just to keep it really real with you guys, that we think this is going to be really financially challenging for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that we should give our awesome listeners, watchers, some tips for how they can market their business during this time.
Yeah.
So I think we've already touched on this. Do not ignore the situation. If you're a business and you haven't made some sort of statement on how your business is dealing with this, how you're changing your practices, whatever, you need to do it now, soon rather than later. Don't ignore it.
Yeah, I agree. I think you gotta be cognizant of what kind of industry that you're in and what kind of ads you're pushing, if you're choosing to push ads at this time. I think self-awareness is super important. Mm-hmm. I've seen some some ads myself scrolling through Instagram or whatever else that come across as like really tone deaf and a little bit obnoxious, that don't really reflect what's going on. So I don't know. I mean, it can get annoying once you get the 100th email from the 100th company about how they're addressing the COVID situation.
Yeah.
But it is nice as a patron of that business to know that they're taking it seriously and to know that they're making the adjustments.
Yep.
So that's kind of the lens that we're trying to encourage our business partners to look through, is to address the situation, talk about what's staying the same, talk about the changes that are being made, and just doing what you can for your customers, for anyone in your supply chain, for your community.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, it's been pretty cool seeing how the community's responded to it.
Yeah, and I think we're only going to see more and more community come together.
Hopefully,
as we continue on. And we touched on this one as well. Sorry. Don't be tone deaf. Like, I don't know if right now is the right time to be launching your new products and like really selling your business. I really think now is a time, like we've said, to come together as a community, share some community posts,
100%.
Maybe put out some free content for your audience and stuff like that. You really don't want to be selling right now. It's just such a sensitive time, and it can come across really wrong. So just be cognizant of what's going on and market yourself accordingly.
Yeah, I couldn't agree. Like, just to keep it real with you guys, one thing that we've been working on behind the scenes is some education products that we wanted to roll out, like classes online, seminars here in our space in Chatham, and that's just been completely put on the back burner. We haven't even discussed that. Like, I just don't feel that we're in a place as a business, nor is our community ready for something like that right now. So we've just chosen to hold off completely, and it sucks because we were excited to bring that on. But on the contrary, we've chosen to continue with the podcast. It might not look the way it usually does, and we're going to have to play with how we want to invite guests on. We might do something digitally. Yeah, virtual. If that's something you guys would be interested in.
Maybe over the phone and stuff like that.
Right, we might play with that, but I think that having this kind of open communication is important at a time like this. Yeah. So we've chosen to continue with this, and we've chosen to at least postpone the education stuff.
And I mean, I want to keep putting out content too, like for stuff sure. that's the stuff that isn't just podcast related. Just however we can help, basically, in this time, just making some free stuff for you guys is what we want to do. So this one's really important, and I've heard examples and seen examples of this. Make sure you're auditing your social channels and remove any tone deaf ads or content that you still have out there. So I've seen some ads come across my feed, and I'm like, whoa, not right now, kind of thing. So just go through your paid ads, remove anything that isn't really on trend right now, that shouldn't be going out there right now, and audit your content. If you put anything out recently that shouldn't be out right now, make sure you get rid of that. And then our next biggest thing too, whether you're in the service-based business, whether you're in the product business, whatever you are, communicate with your existing clients. Honestly, communicate with them, because yes, you know what, you might be losing them right now, but when this blows over, which it will, they might come back. Your clients will come back to you if you create a relationship with them and you are there for them when they need you.
So. 100%. Yeah, customer relationships over everything. People over everything, always. And this is a good excuse to practice what you preach. And like ourselves, we pride ourselves on our customer relationship management, but we're not perfect. So we've used this as an opportunity to really make sure that we're in touch with everybody and make sure that we're on the same page as much as we possibly can in a tough time like this. Yeah.
Anyway, I don't think we need to delve too much further into all this. Do you have anything else you want to add
on? Just feel free to reach out to us if there's anything that we can do, or if you need somebody to talk to or anything like that. We don't have a crystal ball. We're just taking this day by day. We're doing the best we can. We're trying to be realists with a little dose of optimism, and I think that's really the best you can hope for at a time like this.
Yeah, for sure. And for those wondering, there's just a couple of set things. This candle was going to be on the podcast 2 podcasts ago, but the candle that we had burnt out. So this is not this has nothing to do with what we're talking about. We want to make this a regular thing. We kind of think it adds to the mood a little bit. And yeah, I think that's...
We got a candle.
We got a candle. But yeah, what Jared said, reach out to us. If you guys have any questions about social media right now, if you have any questions about how we're doing different things in this scenario, reach out. We're always here. DM us, email us, whatever.
100%.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Do we have any other talking points that we should have gone over?
I don't think so.
No.
That's it.
Okay. So this is probably going to be a bit shorter.
Yeah.
So yeah,
around 20 minutes.
Yeah, like we said, unless quarantining gets even more serious than it is now,
yeah,
we're hopefully going to continue doing the podcast in this format.
Yeah.
For the foreseeable future, so that's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, you can check out some of the other content we're making. Keep up with us on social. If you want to pop by the office, please do contact us ahead of time because we're not going to be here at our regular hours.
Definitely.
And that's constantly changing too. But yeah, we're quite frankly just as clueless as you guys, and we're just trying to make the most of a situation like this.
We're just keeping up to date with what the government's putting out every single morning and rolling with the punches and acting accordingly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Okay.
And let us know how you guys are taking this situation.
Yeah, like we'd love to hear from you guys.
Like, what are some ideas of how you're marketing, how you're discussing the situation? Like, I've seen companies who are basically pretending to be the World Health Organization, like posting everything about COVID, and other companies that are completely ignoring it and everywhere in between. So we're trying to find that happy medium. And if you have any input on what you think we're doing, or some suggestions or cool ideas that you have, let us know. If you're comfortable with it, let us know what you think of the financial landscape of what's going on, because that's interesting to us, and we're going to be here to help out in whatever way that we can, and we just think that this is a good time to leverage some conversation about what's going on in general.
Yeah. One more thing too.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot of businesses kind of changed, and I've seen this a lot with like gyms and stuff. They're posting a lot of like at-home workouts and things.
That's cool.
Which is good, and I've even seen shout out to the yoga studio downtown. I don't know what the name of it is.
Shakti?
No.
The
Body language. They're doing yoga every morning at 9 a.m.
Cool.
So if you like yoga, they're doing a free yoga session on Instagram Live. Go check them out. Blair's Boot Camp, they're doing a live at 5 every single day,
right.
5 p.m. They're doing a live workout. So if you guys want to get your sweat on, it's important that you're continuing to work out, and because it's good for your health. Make sure you're doing it responsibly. I just found out actually my triathlon is not canceled yet, so I'm still training.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
So there's no pool right now, but I did get out and run today. So.
Yeah, just make the most of it. We've had to change our exercise routines for sure, but get out there, lower your cortisol. It's a good time to be out and alone in nature.
Yeah.
Quentin was just telling me that some of the local like walking and running places are a little bit busier than they typically are, but people are still respecting the distancing and keeping a few meters between one another. So that's cool. Yeah, like look at the positives. Like look at the things that aren't impacted by this.
Yeah.
Like you can still watch a good movie. You can still hit up anybody you want to talk to easier than ever.
Yeah.
You know,
our friend group's FaceTiming. We're doing big group FaceTime calls.
Yeah, FaceTime, text, whatever you want to do. That's not going anywhere. A good book isn't going anywhere. Exercise isn't going anywhere. So try to look at it that way if you can.
Yeah. All right.
I think that's about it.
On that note, thank you all for watching.
Okay.
Stay safe, stay healthy, and until next time, we'll see you guys then.
Well said. Thank you guys. We'll talk to you soon.
See ya.